Link down below in the description box. It's the same regardless of the platform you play on. It doesn't matter, one of the 3,053 different combinations of patch notes numbers that you're going to be reading. New content, Mastery Challenge Pack 2. Added Mastery Challenge Pack 2 to the game called The Reckoning. It offers the ultimate test of skill for combat, range, and stealth. Pack 2 introduces 3 new shrines and culminates in a boss fight, which tests your abilities in each aspect of combat. Unlock unique rewards, including the Valkyrie armor set, all new weapons, a tattoo set, and new settlement cosmetics. Access requirements. To access this Mastery Challenge Pack 2, players must be at least power level 221, have completed the uninvited guest's main quest after reporting on Grantebridgeshire and the Leicestershire, exactly, and have completed the narrative quest from the Mastery Challenge Pack 1. Ostara Festival added in-game support for the Ostara Festival to the game. There's a lovely little picture there. And that's available from April the 21st through to May 12th. Complete various activities to earn all new weapons, available only during the festival. Rewards again include all new weapons at Norvid's shop and 50 free opals via Ubisoft Connect. Access requirements. Players must reach England and complete one of the first 2 narrative arcs. Grantebridgeshire or exactly. And have a settlement at level 2 to participate in the Ostara Festival. Bug fixes and improvements to Expansion 3, Dawn of Ragnarok. Gameplay addressed the following. Runes equipped on gear disappeared after Title Update 1.5.0.1. We reached into the depths of the Helheim to bring them back. Unable to upgrade Legendary and other gear to Divine has been addressed. No silver required to downgrade Divine quality gear. Fail to save game progress pop-up appears when any kind of save is made on Xbox consoles. Well, there's a big shocker. There's your problem right there. I'm just kidding. Calm down. Losing player boost after using the exit the simulation option. Losing player boost gear/weapon loadout upon waking up and reaching England. Improve the activation of powers to avoid accidentally consuming both hugger bars. Save/load issues while collecting runes or in shelters. Combat. Addressed perks to certain weapons, or actually added perks to certain weapons. Unbalanced power level scaling during certain boss fights. Surtur's power level not scaling with player difficulty. What I'm finding with the difficulty of the scaling is the pronunciation of half of these words in the patch notes. Improve the hitbox and balancing during certain boss fights, missing hitbox on certain attacks when wielding 2 at-geared weapons. Dual wielding the 2 at-geared weapons deals too little damage. And put your back into it, take another swing. Yama's Viking, not using any of the at-geared type weapons during raids. Allies and enemies both gaining the electric shield buff during raids. Unable to use the left hand's special attack, I bet. Use your right hand then, you gotta be ambidextrous, get on board here. Anyways, there was a problem with some of the weapons there. Unable to harm some enemies in the Svartalfheim, as they're recognized as friendly, just not how to pronunciate that word. Not your buddy friend. Main quests, world events, and side activities we have addressed. Well, I haven't, they have. No world limit barrier is present when exploring the cave in the quest Gift to the God. Gift of the God quest does not update if players died during the fight with Sinmara. Sinmara boss fight does not start if players enter the boss fight area post using the power of Jotunheim to teleport assassinate. Players could get stuck when using fast travel after defeating Sinmara. In Gift of the God, saving and loading at the stable shop would cause Brud to stop moving. In Gift of the God, players are unable to return to the quest area if they rush out of the cave while Sigrun and Halstein are jumping over the boulder. Cannot use teleport assassination on Sinmara in Gift of the God. Players could block Satur's heavy attacks during the boss fight in the rescue. Cannot open the door to face Satur in the Reckoning if players engaged in combat with Giant Raven. Using teleport assassinate on Surtur will cause him to stay idle in the Reckoning. Last adrenaline bar keeps being refilled by killing muspel exploders during the boss fight against Surtur. Cannot collect any of the consumables during the boss fight with Malvigor. Malvigor stays in invincible state if player uses teleport assassination on her while she is cloning during the Crystal Cave quest. Malvigor's clone would be immune to damage after performing a teleport assassination on her. Calder can be killed during the ritual in Cold Embers, preventing any progression. The Master's quest is not active if players got to the shelter before taking to Ivaldi, not receiving any XP upon completing the Masters. In the Warlord's Daughter, defeating Asa, with the Ice Infusion power will cause multiple black screens. Why are those black screens always black? Why aren't they ever white, or pink, or purple, or shades of the rainbow? Quest is stuck after the fight with Issa in the Warlord's Daughter. No comment. Players can speak to Jurigor twice by performing a save/load in the Warlord's Daughter. Using the fast travel option right after defeating Asa would break the quest flow. Waking up during the investigation and finding Fritjof can cause the clues to not be interactable anymore. Tyra will remain stuck in the water if the boat is destroyed in finding Fritjof. Well, seems logical there. The Fornama dig site is missing arrows during the quest finding Fritjof, blocking player progression. Missing quest marker for the objective light the ceremonial torches in the quest forging bonds. I'm going to forge a bond with the side of your head and the back of my hand if you give this video a thumbs down. Cinematic is not triggered on Cold Embers if players started a fight with the cultists before interacting with the cinematic. Players remain stuck at the Untie Yourself objective and Beyond Fear if they fast travel to the longship or a port location after interacting with the fire. Cutscene does not play and the objective does not update if players wake up during let or interact in the rescue. Performing a save load action before crossing the river by boat will lead Tyra to jump in the water and break the quest flow. Players can escape the fog by activating the Blinding Rush ability in Beyond Fear. Dialogue scene does not start upon lighting the beacon in the quest Pride of the Aesir. Players' mount would vanish upon lighting the beacon while on a mount. Sinmara does not appear after being defeated using the power of winter in the quest Pride of the Aesir. Waking up while reading the letter in the Pride of Aesir causes the quest to remain stuck. You know, when you wake up in an interesting dream and can't go back? Exactly. None of the shapeshifters react to range attacks in Dwarf in Distress. Players can attack Surtur from a distance during Phase 2 of the boss fight. Investigation progress can fail to register in some cases. Cannot complete under the skin if Vili falls into the water. Vili is clearly aquaphobic. Improve balancing during Glod's boss fight. Gulen Bursty's mount disappears during the world event, A Beast's Burden. Exiting the simulation during investigation phases would break the quest flow in certain quests. Burning the schematics before starting the quest warpath blocked completion of the objective. Missing quest marker in the Old City after fast traveling during the Vault of the Ancients. The Protect the Dwarves objective won't update if the Vault of the Ancients, if enemies are resurrected during the first wave. Saving/loading while having the two light beam projectors pointed to the Sunstone would result in objective remaining stuck in the Vault of the Ancients. Travel to the Jordigger shelter objective does not update during Malvigor if players perform a leap of faith into the shelter while in conflict. I take a leap of faith every time I try to pronunciate any of these words. But I'm multilingual, so I don't feel bad if I can't pronunciate these properly. Loading a save before completing the Love Conquers world event would result in seeing dead bodies of dwarves on the ground. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. I think it's because it reminds me of when I ransacked Ironforge with my Forsaken Undead Rogue in World of Warcraft, but that's another story for another day. Saving/loading next to the Dwarf in Distress mystery with Kar will cause the number of enemies to triple. Clues are not marked as completed if players were detected during the investigation and blazing a trail. Bo becomes to life permanently after being resurrected in the world event Carpe Diem. Bo's body flies up in the air if players remove frames per second's limit from the option menu and approach the body. When rescuing the dwarf in distress, Ylva attacking the wolves with ranged attacks causes them to flee. Bo becomes to life permanently after being resurrected in the world event Carpe Diem. Dwarf in distress mysteries are not reset by exiting the location if players killed enemies with the power of Jotunheim, unable to complete the Jotun Blight's locations despite destroying the totems. Players could fast travel out of the cave before Bansky dropped the oil jar in Not Today Jotun, whatever. Cannot use the Hugger Rip in the prison in the world event The Seed of Travi. My rabbit is gone apeshit. World mysteries will restart if players fly above 100 meters in elevation with the Raven form. Valkyrie Arena addressed the following issues. Completing, exiting, or restarting a challenge will leave players stuck in the arena with no control over Javi. Resurrected NPCs attacking players in the arena. Arena icon is not visible on the map before reaching the location. Tweak the damage dealt to bosses when using certain abilities. Steinbjorn's attacks would push players out of the arena's boundaries. Players would lose control over Javi upon touching the lava area during any Muspel Arena challenge if he was previously defeated while the power of Muspelheim was active. Sinmara does not attack resurrected NPCs in the Tail Double Trouble. Players are unable to use their third power slot after dying in the arena. Yeah, usually when you're dead or dying, you can't really do much of anything. Some bosses could be thrown out of the arena by using certain abilities. Asa not attacking players when her health is low. Unable to deal damage to Sutter and the Warlord of the Muspelheim Tail when he's killing resurrected enemies. Teleport assassination, not dealing any damage under certain circumstances. Sinmara cannot absorb her allies to refill her hit points when the enemy stun-resistant boast is active. Stored power timeout boast does not reset after completing a tail. Skills, abilities, and powers. Address the following issues. Balance the effects of various powers and abilities. Improved Raven control, freezing or shattering effects not applying in certain instances. Raven not looting enemies that were defeated using powers. Entering certain caves with the Raven form could prevent quests from being triggered. Not receiving a skill point upon buying a scroll of knowledge from a shelter vendor. The Rage Axe ability doesn't do damage to Surtur, decrease Surtur's resistance to rage. The Hugger Rip menu cannot be opened from the blacksmith in the Crystal Cave shelter. Raven form cannot be triggered while on mount in certain circumstances, unable to resurrect certain NPCs with the power of rebirth. Gary's Howl and Frecky's Charge runes can be reactivated before the 30-second cooldown timer. Using Explosive Retreat against enemies deals damage to Javi. A little too explosive. Various malfunctioning perks on gear weapons. Resurrecting a corpse while placing a trap will cause Javi to remain idle for a few seconds. Knockback arrows do not stun enemies when players are on fire. Yeah, because if you're on... Anyways. Auto loot not working when defeating enemies barehanded with the power of winter. Unable to perform a teleport assassination when Jotnar enemies are healing themselves. Enemy attacks interrupt player attacks despite activating the shield of the Draugr. Find a way inside objective does not update in Malvigor if players open the house's door before starting the quest. Hitting 2 weak points at once on bosses with the split shot ability would result in the boss not being stunned properly. Disguise, suddenly disappearing when interacting with something while having a power activated. Jotnar Cleaver and Frost Rune's perk icon disappear if one weapon finishes its cooldown before the other one. Enemies are not impacted correctly by certain abilities. Graphics, animation, and audio addressed the following issues. Graphic issues during various cutscenes. Facial animation sync issues in certain dialogue scenes. Investigation poses not triggered when players are detected while interacting with a clue. reduced flashing light in certain dialogue scenes. Javi's hair and beard change color when swimming underwater with the power of Muspelheim active. At-gear weapons misplaced when equipped on the left arm. Weapons disappearing from player's hand when dodging while using the Jotun form. Javi can be briefly seen teleporting under the world map after interacting with the mythical memory. Missing world icons when using the Raven. Instances of misplaced or floating objects or textures. Numerous issues with dialogue lines. Numerous clipping issues. Numerous colorblind mode issues. Numerous menu narration issues. Various issues with missing music or sound effects. Numerous graphics, texture, animation, or lighting issues. The world's got a lot of problems that needs addressing, but in this virtual world, here's what has been addressed. Time of day remaining stuck upon completing the quest seeking shelter and loading the latest save. Cannot fast travel while in a Milner raid location. Javi remains stuck when exploring various areas near the border during the introduction quest. Some muspels not spawning from the lava. I don't think much can spawn from the lava. You know what I'm saying? Players could get stuck in certain walls or rocks. Wolfpack enemies disappearing when shapeshifting from wolves to Jotnar. Various issues where Javi would remain stuck in a free-fall animation and or get desynced. Cases where players could access off-limit areas. Wrong lava damage in certain instances. There's only one type of damage that you get with lava, and it's called instant death. Unable to call the longship from certain locations. Resurrected enemies during a raid that would follow Javi everywhere on the map. Various NPC spawning issues, various wrong AI behaviors. Miscellaneous addressed the following. Starting a new Dawn of Ragnarok playthrough from the main menu prevented players from redeeming any new ULC unlockable content. Flying Fortress Trophy does not unlock when using cross-progression despite performing the same countable action. Acquired contract from the black market disappear from the quest log after performing a save load action. Players getting stuck in blocking stance when performing a synchronization while maintaining the blocking button with an at-gear weapon equipped. Kara's challenge is missing from the Rita's quest in Hoda's shelter. Flamekeeper cannot resurrect enemies if they were defeated with bare hands and then assassinated. UI HUD addressed numerous UI HUD issues, NPC's health and defense bar disappearing when there is fire effects nearby. Numerous weapon changing name upon upgraded to divine quality, various camera issues. Performance instability addressed the game freezing when players equip unequipped a force full rune on the expansion weapons. A failed to save game progress message is displayed upon resuming the game via quick resume on Xbox consoles. Performance and stability improvements, various FPS drops during some cutscenes, or some scenes. Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay addressed combat difficulty changes to custom when starting a new game. Players losing character control over Eivor. If an ability is removed from the ability wheel during combat. Main quests, world events, side activities addressed a crash into the Berg Castle objective that does not update in a fury from the sea. After skipping cinematic on low and middle graphic quality, I'm about to go into a rage of fury if these patch notes don't end anytime soon. Javi will be thrown out of the boss arena in binding fate if Fenrir is binded while he's falling off the platform. Old Cellar Mystery cannot be completed because the tablet's not there. Odumbla will no longer move if players pushed a large stone over some pieces of wood during the Milk of Humankind world event. Unable to confirm the kill after defeating the Lost Dringer, Nokifila, Shine Eye, multiple quest NPCs being dead in Brewing Rebellion was like that when I got there. Hitham will remain stuck with no boat and to serve the light if players started the Cowcatcher quest at the same time. NPCs could follow Eivor during the dialogue scene and taken for granted. The Siege of Paris addressed Show being present around Epernay. Raven distraction ability can be used during the fight with Barn Bull. UI HUD addressed preview for multiple shields is missing when recruiting a Yams Viking. Mastery challenge. Address completing, exiting, or restarting a challenge will leave players stuck in the arena with no control over Eivor. Hilderin doesn't hit Eivor during the first duel. Miscellaneous addressed certain Ubisoft Connect rewards being received at a mythical quality instead of superior. Performance and stability added some performance and stability improvements. And that's it. Sweet, holy pineapple. If you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. You didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. And as always, you're going to have those things that happen throughout the patch notes that I discussed. Or I'll bend it in half, break it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, obviously that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.